Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. You have found your way to the tutorial for the Naturalist Scrapbook, a project by the Santa Cruz Museum of Natural History featuring the 19th century scrapbook assembled by lighthouse keeper and naturalist and collector Laura Hecox. So this tutorial is a little video how-to guide of how to participate. For written instructions, you can click through the tutorial pages, and you can also find, by clicking Show the Project Tutorial, you can also find more information by selecting this Field Guides tab over here in the corner. But for now, in this project, we're going to go over the scrapbook pages that you're going to look at, like this one here. Please ignore the already seen banner, it's because I've been practicing. And you're going to identify individual clippings and provide some information about them. So a clipping is just what it sounds like. It's a single piece of print material cut out and pasted into a book. Sometimes there will be articles, sometimes there will be images, sometimes there will be more or less information. That's fine, you're just going to treat them the same. So to start, we've got the arrow tool selected here, and we are going to click around the borders of a clipping. In this case, we're going to start with this poem right here. And we are going to create a single container, and there is going to be a little pop-up menu we're going to answer questions for. If you don't like the shape you created, you can go ahead and click this X and you can start over. So in this case, it was a pretty decent shape, so we're just going to follow the same strategy once more. And these shapes can be rectangles, they can be squares, they can be however they need to be so that they match up with the clipping as much as possible. So in order to see a little bit more about the poem, we are going to zoom in. I prefer to use the arrow keys then to move around on my computer screen, but you can also use this cross tool right here. So looking at the different pieces of information in the poem, we are now going to answer some questions in this pop-up menu. So I'm going to move my cursor to the right and I'm going to scroll down to the menu itself. So for example, I know that I've already read the title is Whittier's Last Poem, and I want to include to Oliver Wendell Holmes on his 83rd birthday, which is the subtitle. We're just trying to get as much information as possible. The piece does not have an author, which I already noticed, nor does it have a date, which is fine. We'll leave those blank. Looking at the poem, it's sort of about a birthday. It's about life and death. So I'm going to go ahead and add birthday as a keyword. I'm going to add age, both topic keywords. Another thing that I noticed is that the Atlantic Monthly is right here written as a source for the publication, and it's important to gather information like that, context for this piece. So I'm going to go ahead and add Atlantic Monthly as a keyword. These don't have to be the keywords you've chosen. We're going to get a variety of keywords from different people, all trying to build up a holistic picture of what it is we're looking for here. And so then I'm going to go ahead and scroll down, and you can select the type of clipping. In this case, it's a poem. So we're going to do that. Oh, and make sure that you separate keywords by commas like in the instructions. So then we're going to go ahead and click OK. So we've done that one clipping, and now I'm going to zoom out again and use my arrow keys to mouse back over, zoom out to a full page, and then I'm going to do another example here. So let's see, this clipping right here looks like, if I go and zoom up, I can see that it doesn't have a title, it doesn't have an author, so I'm going to assume that it's sort of an unfinished clipping. And that's okay. We're going to talk about how we would handle that, and it's really just the same. You want to go ahead and create a shape around the clipping so we know which part we're talking about. And this is a little bit of an unconventional shape. It's not a square, but that's okay. So we've connected it. And then I went ahead and looked at this piece. It's not got a title, so we're going to scroll down here to the pop-up menu. So we're going to leave that blank, nor does it have an author or date. But so we're going to go ahead and skip to the keywords. And now when I'm reading it, it's about California condors. It mentions a couple people as scientific references. It mentions an expedition. And so I'm going to go ahead and include California condor as one of my keywords. I'm going to include San Benito County, because that's a place, and you want topics, you want places, you want person's name. And then I'm going to actually include, if I scroll back up, I remember seeing at one point in the clipping, I'm just going to zoom a little bit and move over. Down here, the party was composed of the writer and Penham W. Nall of Alameda. So I want to put Penham W. Nall's name in there because he was part of this expedition. Chances are he could have been someone important. Laura could have known him or been following his work, so we want to capture that information. So I'm going to go down and I'm going to include Penem W. Nall. And then, it's an article about California condors, so I'm going to include that in general article. And I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And then I'm going to go back up here and, for if I was really doing all this page, I would include the 2 additional articles, The Legend of the Beautiful and the 9 Winds down here. But for the sake of brevity, I'm just going to show you that if I was done with this page at this point, I would click Done. And then it tells me how many polygons or shapes I created, borders around clippings. And then if I want to continue on to the next page, I would click Next. Now in this case it's the same page simply because this was a practice, but I hope that this has been a succinct overview of how you can participate in the Naturalist Scrapbook. We are super happy to have you, and we hope that you get to participate and check out some really cool stuff and let us know what you've seen and what you'd like to see more of, and are really excited that you're helping us just explore Laura's legacy and understand her story. Thank you.